Hey YouTubers, I have here a Traditions Pursuit Ultralight muzzleloader. This is my first muzzleloader. I am completely new to muzzleloading. I got this around, I believe, last April, and that's firing this is the first time I've ever fired a muzzleloader. So it's been a learning experience for me. And I'll say that it has been a very rewarding learning experience. It is a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. Now, muzzleloading is completely opposite of what my primary shooting is, which is ARs and rifles like that. Muzzleloading takes patience, it's slow, and you really learn a lot about the shooting process to shoot it, to become good at shooting it. It's kind of like a combination of shooting and reloading all at the firing line. The Pursuit UL is a combination of their Traditions, the Pursuit line and the Vortec Ultralight line. This here is kind of the mid-level between them. And just as a side note, this was awarded the Field & Stream Best of the Best in 2011. So it's a very quality firearm. I like it. I think it is an excellent introductory muzzleloader, and it's also one that, you know, it's even if you're not new into muzzleloading, it's an upgrade from a lot of the other muzzleloaders that are out there. I think it's a good quality long-term muzzleloader. I feel like this is pretty much the only muzzleloader I'll ever need, unless, you know, I do have a flintlock, revolutionary type flintlock, but as far as like a modern muzzleloader for hunting, this here for me is all I need. And the Traditions has a lot of the features that you see advertised on TV from Thompson Center and some of the other manufacturers that spend a lot of money on advertising. Has a lot of those features, but it's at a lot more reasonable price. This one here, as you see it, is $435, and that includes the scope and rings. The ultralight, what I like about this, it only weighs 5.15 pounds. So if you're someone who does a lot of walking when they hunt, this is an excellent muzzleloader for that. Some of the other muzzleloaders that I have picked up in stores are a lot heavier, and they tend to be front heavy, of course, because the barrel is steel. So they tend to be front heavy, but this one here is a lot more balanced than the other ones I've picked up. It has an accelerator breech plug right here. It's very easy to remove. Here's the brake action button, and it comes with a breech plug wrench, but I've never had to use it because it comes off so well. You just twist it with your fingers. I've played with other muzzleloaders in the store, and this breech plug for me comes out about the easiest. It's a 26-inch ultralight chrome moly tapered fluted barrel with it has a Cerakote finish on it. This finish is excellent for protection against black powder, cleaning chemicals, and any weather that you'll encounter. Snow, ice, whatever. I had it out last winter a couple times, or last spring when it was cold out and snowy and sleet and everything. I've had it out a couple times shooting it, and I didn't have any issues at all. The finish works wonderful. The frame is LT1 alloy. It's a break open, as I said. This has a speed load system for quicker loading and more consistent groups. It has a dual safety system, has a safety on the trigger guard, and it also has a hammer block to prevent from firing unless you pull the trigger. Has soft touch camo stocks. I really like the way that feels. I think it feels nice, and it kind of fits in. It kind of sticks in your hand well. if you know what I mean. Some of the other versions come with a Williams fiber optic metal sight, but as you see on this one here has a Traditions scope on it. Has a fast action brake release button, which I showed you earlier. Rifling is a 1 28 inch twist. This you know, is what I like about this most, as I alluded to before. It's lightweight and it's very maneuverable. Being that it's a little bit shorter than some of the other muzzleloaders on the market, it's definitely much shorter than my flintlock that I have. It's excellent if you're going to be up in a tree stand or in a blind. Makes an excellent choice. So it's very flexible. It's because of the maneuverability of it, you can use it in a tree stand, blind, or like I said, it's also lightweight, so that if you're doing a lot of walking, you can also use it for that. For me, this has been the perfect muzzleloading, my first muzzleloader, and one that I'm going to keep for a long time. It does also have a extended and ambidextrous hammer. The extension on here, you can, it's got a screw right here, so you can have it on the other side also. That's a very nice feature with the scope that's on there. The barrel is drill and tapped for a scope. It's got 2 Celine swivel studs. It takes 209 shotgun primer ignition. Has a solid aluminum ramrod, and it also has in another version a thumb hole stock. Let's take a look here at the ramrod. Take this off and switch ends. And then there's I've been using power belt bullets, which have a kind of like a hollow point at the end. So there's a nipple, and you can screw it in there, and then that way when you push it down, it'll seat the bullet without damaging the hollow point. This has all been a learning experience for me. Like I said, you know, I'm new to it, so pretty much everything I do is new and it's learning. I spent a lot of time on YouTube learning the process of how it goes and reading books and things like that. Disassembly of the muzzleloader is pretty easy. Open it up. You got the breech plug. A screwdriver, standard size head. And it just slides right out. So there you go. I have here power belts, 295 grain, and this, by the way, is a 50 caliber rifle or muzzleloader. And here's what these look like, the power belts. It has this plastic piece here, give a good seal, and then a hollow point. There's a lot of different bullets on the market for the modern muzzleloader, and this is the one I bought. I've only used these. And you'll see from the video, I got decent accuracy on it. I did have one flyer, and I'm not sure exactly why. That could have either been the one time I didn't have a clean barrel, it was a second firing, or it could be, as you see, there was one round where the bullet, or the rifle, the muzzleloader actually jumped off my rest because I didn't have it cinched down. So it could have been that one too. I'm not exactly sure which one it was. So I have here are the 209 primers, CCI. I have, like I said, the power belt, 295 grain, and my powder is this Pyrodex 50/50. So 2 of these is the load I need for the 295 grain 50 cal. And to make it a little bit simpler, I have this speed loader right here from Power Belt. So I have 1 bullet and 2 charges and 4 primers. So when you're loading it, after you clean it for the first time, you want to fire, before you put anything in it with an empty barrel, and you'll see it on the video, you want to fire 1 primer. That clears the breech plug hole. It clears it of any debris, makes sure everything's smooth. So you fire 1, then you load it, and you tip this down so the 2 powders go first, then the bullet, then you load it, as I said, and you can, with this reloader, you can do that 3 times. So you got the 1 primer to make sure it's clear, and then you got 3 primers to go with the other 3 loadings. So, and this does make it simple. I would definitely recommend this. So, you know, a lot of times I've heard of people, if you're loading these, they forget how many they put in and might overcharge or might undercharge. With this, you know exactly how many are going in each time. So this is everything, and there's a lot here. Like I said, I've learned a lot. I'm still learning. And my next try is to maybe try different bullets. I've heard some other people say some other bullet powder combinations might be able to possibly get me a little bit better accuracy with it. The accuracy I got was decent. I would like to get it a little bit better. And what I showed you on the video, I've actually got better groupings before than on the day I fired for this video. But you see on the video, like I said, I have gotten better. And I had fired, those 3 shots I fired on my video were actually the last 3 shots I fired of the day. So I do have other video, or other shots that I didn't get on film in which I grouped better. And you'll notice on film, all 3 shots were to the right of the bull. And you know, you might simply say, we'll just move the scope over. But on the ones that I didn't get on film, some of those were over to the left. So I was kind of on both sides of the bullseye. So you know, it's not a simple matter of moving the scope. The wind was a little bit gusty that day, I'll say that. And I'm sure such a big round, moving so slow, I'm sure probably affected quite a bit by the wind. So, but it is what it is. And if you have any questions at all, and I'm sure, you know, if some of you are new or thinking about getting into muzzleloading, you might have quite a few questions. So feel free. I will answer them the best that I can. And if I can't answer one, you know, I'm always honest. If I can't answer it, I'll tell you. So take care, Semper Fi. And as they say, keep your powder dry.